We are on the fourth chapter and 17th verse. We had you know, just, just glanced at this verse, and since it's slightly important, uh, more important than the others, we'll have a look at this. This effulgent one, whose work is this universe, and who is all pervasive, is ever present in the hearts of beings. He is revealed through the instructions, not this, not this, through discerning intelligence and through the knowledge of unity. Those who know this, the self, they become immortal. The translation has taken the help of the commentary also, and that's the reason why it's slightly cumbersome. The Sanskrit is Esha Devo Vishwakarma Mahatma Sada Jananam Hriday Sannivishtaha Rida Manisha Manasa Viklipto Yayetad Vidur Amritaste Bhavanti. So the last two lines in this verse is taken straight from one of the Upanishads called the Kathopanishad. And this verse, I say, this effulgent one, the word used in the Sanskrit original is Deva. Deva is, as we have seen, it's the shining one, the effulgent one. And aspects of that shining deity are within us, which guide our functions, as well as aspects which are external. So all the senses are, in a way, shining functions of those deities. But are there many deities? Yes, in the relative world, there are many deities, but there is one who is the source of all these deities. That deity is being mentioned as this effulgent one. And why one? Yeah, it has to be one. As we have seen, the Upanishads speak of this reality as one, non-dual. Then he's saying, whose work is this universe? Now here, there is a deity called Vishwakarma. The word used is Vishwakarma. That is, we can see that the universe is a product. Obviously, it says something has, somebody is responsible for this. And who's responsible? Yes, we say that it is the Lord who is responsible for this. Now, in the Upanishad literature, that Lord who produces this universe is also within the universe. He produces it and he enters into it. How does that reality produce this universe? I am one, let me be many. That's a thought that first. And this whole universe comes into being. And after it comes into being, enters into it. Like when we do something, Ted is a painter, and here we have another painter coming in. So when Ted paints, it's not just his painting, it's his mind there. We don't realize anything that one does. Maybe we manufacture a chair or a computer. Search within you, through the process of no, not this, not this, not this, not this, not this, not this. Like you peel, like Shri Ramakrishna says, you peel an onion and you keep on peeling, and then you find there's nothing to peel now. Yes, there's nothing, but that was the essence of the very core of it. So we peel layers after layers of our personality, and we go deeper and deeper. No, I cannot just be the body. I see the body is now undergoing these processes of transformations. A god and a demon, they go to their father because the father produced both the demons as well as because even Lucifer was the child of God only. Yeah. That's why it's a Luciferous, luminous, and bright. He was a little jealous. That's all. Nothing else. Yeah. And that's why God had to banish him out. So, so God produces that is Lucifer. So similarly, in Indian mythology also, Prajapati, he has everybody, the the able, the disabled, every type of people he had created. So a god, Indra, and the demon, Virochana, they go to. We've heard something about this reality called the Atman. Let's go to our father. We'll ask him. He should know these things. So they go and saying, you cannot get it for free. You've got to stay here for 35 years and stay as students. And at the end of that period, you can ask questions. So that was the whole method of, you know, staying in the place. Just cannot go, sir, what is this? What is that? No, you stay for a while. I'll see your body language. I'll see your movement. I'll see your attitude. I'll see everything. And you see, you check on me. We both check on each other, and you practice austerities, and then you become ready to ask questions. That was, yeah. So the end of the period of studentship, brahmacharya. So he say, oh, you are that person you are seeking for. That reality. You are that reality you are seeking for. And where's that reality? That is seen in the right eye. Huh? Now, it's a kind of a mystical, you can say, meaning, but doesn't matter. We won't go into that now. So they say yes. So demon says yes. We are that reality. So eat well, dress well, stay well, exercise, keep your body fit, keep it clean, and you are that reality. So the God, he goes and saying, "Yeah, but when I'm hungry, this reality become hungry. I'm thirsty. There's something more to this." So the God, he returns for the second set of teaching, and the demon goes away. The demon goes away, and he comes and tells all the other demons, the hordes of demons, "You are that reality. Okay, eat, drink, be merry, be fine." That became materialism. So those who worship the body become demons. So the God returns and saying, "You did you mean this or something else? Find it out for yourself. First, you stay for another 35 years, and then he stayed and they asked the question, you are that. And again, he goes to the pool of water and he says, "Oh, something more." And gradually, he discovers that a subtle body within, and then higher and higher layers within his personality. Then it discovers that Atman, that self. So when we also now we know, oh, God dwells in all beings. Fine, exactly. Now, now what are we going to do about it? Now you start your search. Don't ask this, don't ask that. Now it's all over. I know where exactly it is. Where exactly it is? It is here in the very heart, at the very core of my being. I need to now unpeel. The problem comes, when I start unraveling some of those knots which I may become uncomfortable. Oh, what a stupid thing did I do? Why did I do that? And I keep on thinking. That was a one big mistake. Oh. And I get sidetracked. But we need to go for plunge and hack your way through. That's the only way. Why? Because you need to become immortal. Simple as that. What's the fruit? Immortality. So here he's saying now uh, the these next two lines, as they say from the Upanishad, Kathopanishad, which are a kind of a rehash from older material, saying that deity is revealed through the instruction, not this, not this, through discerning intelligence and through the knowledge of unity. Those who know this, that is a self, they become immortal. So here it is, Rida. We have this quite a nuanced word, this Rida, the heart. There is in the core of your being a space. It's called a supreme space. How do we know it? Yeah, you get into it. And in that space, now what space? Is it this space? It is not this space. This, as we had mentioned, this is called the elemental space, Maha Akash. Because we are situated in time and in space. So we need to have space. We need to move about. We need to do our thing. So whenever you have any physical object, you need to have space. So the whole universe is situated in this huge space. And the space is expanding, as Hubble has shown. Expanding. We saw the redshift, and it's like crazy, expanding like crazy. It has to. You have space and it's expanding. So is this space that we are talking about? No. The mind also has to be situated in space. If you say the mind exists, where does it exist? It has to exist in space. And that is called Chittakash, the mind space. There's an elemental space which is very subtle. You cannot see it, Where's space? Here it is. It's empty. What do you mean empty? There's no such thing as empty space. Because from space has emerged this whole creation. What do you say it's empty? It's not empty. So it's a field of possibilities. Yeah, that is. The mind also needs to be situated in a space for it to exist and operate. It operates through time and space and the law of causation. Here also you find that there is something called a Chittakash. The whole this world of the mind is like curled within this first space. Now you have physicists talking about 11 dimensions, 10 dimensions, and 11 dimensions. 11th is time space. Where are these? They are curled one within the other. Huh. Like those magic boxes, you keep on opening them, opening them, opening them. Open the first box, second box, and you keep on opening the second box, and you open the third box, and the fourth box. So this mind space is there, and it is vast. If this elemental space is vast, you can understand that mind. There is a third space, which is called a knowledge space, called a Chidakash. It is here the space of consciousness, which is as it were curled within these two other spaces. And it is here that this deity exists. So we need to travel, take a spaceship, come down to Earth, and then keep on meditating, enter into the mind space, and then keep on meditating more and get into a kind of a highly concentrated state, which is called samadhi. And you enter into that third space called the knowledge space, Chit Akash. Chit is consciousness, the space of consciousness. So as we get inside, there's that space in the heart. And there are symbology is given, like it's like a lotus, upside down. And there's a luminous, you can say, uh, a ring within it, or there's a luminosity emerging from that space, from that lotus. Where it's called also the city of Brahman. The whole thing is there inside Brahmapure. So as we enter into it, it is we are not becoming diminutive. We are not becoming small. In fact, we are getting vaster. So there, as we enter into it, ah, we've entered into that supreme space. This is what it is. So that's the reason why some of the previous verses also smaller than the smallest and larger than the largest. Anoraniya Mahato, greater than the greatest. That reality pervades all things. So there, as you enter inside, you become what? You become like that consciousness that you're experiencing. And how does one do it? We enter through the purified mind, Manisha. Technically, it also means one who is the lord of the mind, Isha, it. So, who's the lord of the mind? The intellect. Because the mind is engrossed in objects. And we have the prefrontal cortex, which acts as a kind of a Thor's hammer. Hey, stop this. Oh, this is rubbish here. Pulls you back. It has a kind of a controlling power over your limbic and or other reptilian brain that we have. We have, yeah, we have that old brain still with us. And it's, yes, also, it's a reptilian brain there. And over that, there's a kind of a mammalian brain, the limbic system, fear, hunger, thirst, always alert. And then over that, we have the cortex. That makes us a little primate type. And then we have the prefrontal cortex, the new one, neocortex. Ha, ah, that has a kind of, that makes us human. We are human because of the prefrontal cortex, neocortex, and pure. So it has a kind of a controlling power over all the other systems. They are there, they operate. You need to be aware of your body in space and hunger and thirst and cold and heat. Otherwise, the organism will die. If you don't feel cold, you go down. I don't feel cold. And you die of hypothermia. What happened? Oh, this guy thought he could live out here. Ah. So all these functions will keep on operating, but there's a kind of a sentinel on top that looks after everything is okay. Fine. So this Manisha is like that. All the subsystems are operating. It keeps an eye on this whole thing. So that's why. And Manasa Abhiklipto. It is revealed here, they say, through this discerning intelligence. How does it happen? Revelation is within. The first thing that revelation occurs is in that purified intelligence. That is actually our individuality also. That's the core of the individuality, and then we've got other layers here. So this, so enlightenment, realization, knowing the self, whatever happens there in that intellect clashes. That is particularly conscious. So, so manasa, you know, uh, the mind, like I said, which is engrossed with the objects. If we try to sit down and meditate, let's meditate and keep on, and we can for to a great extent reduce external, you can say, objects impinging in our mind, on the brain. Close our eyes and try to shut our ears also by concentrating on something else, so we don't feel that something is beside you whispering in your ears. So that mind is now, which is not engrossed in objects, which is not absorbed in thinking of old memories. Because the moment outside things are reduced, it becomes hyperactive inside. And 20 years ago, that guy said such a thing to me. And I was so embarrassed. And I keep on thinking of that. And then, I did a good, not a bad meditation I had. The mind has led you down. So that's the reason why you hold it, drag it in. No, just think of that luminous deity within, that Eshadev, that being. And as we keep on getting inside, slowly, we are just overwhelmed with that, you can say. Bliss. That is the experience is of bliss, nothing else. So what is consciousness? Consciousness is knowledge and this and that, yes, but it is bliss. And it gets hammered through. Yes, I know it now. This is it. There's a certitude in that. Tremendous. Like that's why they say it's like the fruit in the palm of your hand, like the Amalaki. We have this Karatala Mukti. Here we have uh, directly we perceive it. And then what happened? Those who know it, they're aether. Those who know it, we do. They know it. They become immortal. That is, they don't have to go through the processes of birth and death and this existence. So what happens to that person? Immortal. Does he go to some heaven? No. But that also is space. Heaven also exists in space. If heaven exists in space, yes, it does, then there has to be time also. And that's the reason why in Indian mythology and Indian metaphysics, they're saying, yeah, you go out there, but then you're also under time. And after maybe 100,000 years, when everything is over, is it over? Time is like 100,000 years might appear like a kind of a minute or a second. Is it really over? As you enter, I've got 100,000 years. I'm pretty glad about it. But when it's over, is it over? I can't believe it. It is under time. So I said, discard this. And then you see, we have the physician gods. So these guys, they drink nectar and they dance and they sing and they do whatever, paint and do all these things. And then when they get sick, then you have the physician gods to give them medicine. So it's nothing but an idealized place which this is earth minus all the misery and all the diseases and all the pain and all suffering is heaven. Yes, because we are looking out for a place which is free from all these things. It's not here. Let's make it there. So, like Swami Vivekananda says, like in the Norwegian myths, no? We have this god Odin, and then they have a big boar and the boar hunt, and they all chase the boar and they hunt it down and bring it down. And there's a big carousel, and then they cook it and eat it. And the next morning, it again takes that form and again runs away. And the soldiers, the warriors, they keep on chasing it again, hunt it down. Because they were used to this. They're used to hunting down wild boars in those forests in northern Europe. Their mythology was what they were used to be doing that. So, so our desires produce a heaven that we would like. Swami Vivekananda says, I come from a place that is inundated with water. I would like a heaven which is a little dry. There are some who would like a heaven where there is no water. They would like to have flowing streams and trees laden with fruits. Ah, there you are. So we make our own world, we make our own heavens. So does this person go say no? Then what about does he become superior to the gods? Yes. Even the gods cannot do anything because he becomes their own selves. There you are. So existence is all pervading. And once you experience that existence, you become all. You identify yourself with that deity. You merge in it. And that is Om Shanti Shanti. So we took quite a long time with this. We took our time.
It's beautiful.
We will take the next one, which is more or less on the same strain. Fourth chapter, 18th verse. Where there is no darkness, then there is neither day nor night, neither existence nor non existence. There remains only Shiva, the Absolute. That is immutable. That is worthy of adoration by the sun. The ancient enlightenment has spread verily from it. So we have something called, we've been discussing the sun. What's the sun? It's nothing but the combined consciousness of the world, because the sun is the one that you know gives life to everything. Imagine there was no sun, there would be no life. But there could be life underwater in the dark deeps of the ocean, where these marine life don't even don't even know that there is a sun. They also survive, but then they derive the energy from chemical, you can say, sources. But this sun is a symbol of a collective consciousness. All consciousness, wherever there's life, there's consciousness, and wherever there's consciousness, there's a mind. So life and mind and consciousness are kind of the same thing. Just the spectrum is different, part of the spectrum. So it's saying where there is no darkness. Yeah, something like yada atamas. Whether when the mind is darkened, existence is like contracted. That's why in the Isha Upanishad, Andam Tama Pravishanti, that is people of these kind of demonic minds, they enter into darkness. There is no light. There's light. No, there's no light of knowledge. That's what it means. The difference between a demon and a god is knowledge. Simple as that. If you have more knowledge, you are God. If you have less knowledge, you become demonic. But they are good fellows. We don't have those two horns with a trident. In fact, we have given the trident to one of our gods, Shiva. You take it. There, and it's the red and the long tail and funny things like we've taken three or four kind of symbols together and clumped them. He or she has to be red. What's that? So certain things that used to frighten us, we used a kind of a combination and fused them into a kind of, this is the demon, dark and mysterious, and it's got a hood around sometimes. Yeah. So always moves in the dark, and then he has his beings also. So darkness was always associated with demonic forces and light with the gods. That's why in the ancient mythology, uh, we have in India the gods. When it is they are constantly battling with each other. They are wars, and they go and whining to the supreme god. He's saying, "See, we are beaten up by these guys. We better do something about it." He comes and beats. So whenever it's daytime, no, the gods become powerful. Yeah, and they beat it. When the moment is night, the demons become powerful and they beat this guy. You see in society also, the daytime everybody is working and everything. The moment it is night, wow, all these criminals and all they creep out of the woodwork. They've been sleeping throughout the day. What? They were busy the whole night. They all emerge out of the woodwork. Kind of ominous, you can say, air. Imagine if LA had no lights. Can you imagine that? In the old days, it was like that. They had those small lanterns. It was terrifying. Oh God, don't go down to that in the dark. Don't go out in the forest. Those guys will catch you and drag you. So what drag that guy has the tail and guy has a horn, the red in color, and this and that and that. Let's put all these things together. This is the demon. This is Satan. We have created all these things. So where there is no darkness, where there is light, where there's a light of enlightenment or knowledge, where there is no day nor night, that this day and night itself is a kind of like I said, mentioned in that topic on illusion. That you were there, I think, beyond illusions. This day and night itself is a kind of a illusion, but within the structure of the solar system, there is no such thing as day, and there is no such thing as night. It's just we are running around the sun. At times they thought before the sun used to go around us. Then we reversed the whole thing. And all our calculations fell into place. Oh, look at this. But of course, the ancient Greeks in Alexandria, they knew all these things, along with the ancient Chinese and Indian astronomers. Somewhere down the line, we lost. We thought we are the ones. Everything revolves around us. And obviously, we like the whole world to revolve around us. So there's no day, there's no night. No, okay, you're stationary here. Don't move about. And where there is neither existence nor non-existence. The conceptions of existence and non-existence do not remain there. We have very limited ideas of existence. Like we are here, there must be hundreds and millions of other insects in this room. You're not bothered with that. It doesn't matter, except when it comes and bites. Hey, this place is. Let's fumigate it. Let's exterminate it. So we are like that, we are not aware of the totality of existence. So all these concepts of existence and non-existence, do ghosts exist or no? No, they don't exist. Hmm. And we might say, yeah, no, no. But as we are walking down the darkened path near the park and we hear a noise and we jump out of our skin. What is that? I think probably it's the ghost. There we are. All those things are lurking in us. So it transcends all types of categories. No day and night existence. No. That is immutable. And that is Shiva, the absolute. Shiva, that auspiciousness. It's not the deity with a form. That it's that auspiciousness. Only that auspiciousness which is immutable and which is worthy of adoration. By the sun means adoration by the sun. It's worthy of adoration by all things which have consciousness, which have a mind, and which has life. Who do we worship? Yeah. Which God do we worship? This is the one. Where does he stay in a cave? Does he stay in a church or synagogue or mosque or temple? No. Yeah. That is worthy of adoration.
Is that the blue man?
Ha.
I found the blue man. I searched for it all my life. I found it just where you said it was.
Yeah.
That is Shiva, though.
That is Shiva. That is Shiva. But you're seeing the Shiva, the blue man. When you're seeing Shiva from a distance, it appears blue. Like you see there's a sky. It appears blue. The California sky is always blue.
We painted blue. And the idea was I would either find what it was before I left this earthen coil. I would paint it or I would find it. One or the other. I found it. I don't need to paint it anymore.
When you watch things from distance, they appear blue or black. That's why Ma Kali is either deep blue or black.
But you said the people.
When you come near Shiva, you'll see it's neither blue, nor black, nor white, nor gray,
It's a reality.
nor red. Yes,
Everything.
it is colorless.
Like,
Yeah, exactly.
But you said earlier that people pursue the beauty of the body are headed right toward being demonic. And welcome to LA. Which is what all we do here.
Yeah. If they could understand that the beauty resides actually in the mind, and actually that is also reflected beauty. The real beauty is the Atman. It's called Satyam, Shivam, and Sundaram. It's the light of that reality of the Atman itself is so beautiful, and that's what makes this world beautiful. Consciousness is beautiful. Everything appears so light and bright. If we can understand the source of beauty, here we are.
Somebody told me about 40 years ago or something. So I'm like, God, there's some saint. You're so pure. No, she said, you are beautiful. And then she said, no, in fact, you are divine. And I always wondered how the word beauty got in there.
This divinity is beautiful. Purity is beautiful. This is what it is. That kind of darkness, that hideousness has all been cut away. What remains is that unsullied, you can say, being. Beautiful. Oh, if you can see, understand this beauty, this is God's beauty. You can catch that beauty and go down to. We will stop here for now. And
you didn't just